Over 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, including a significant percentage of people earning over $100,000 a year, which means paycheck to paycheck living is not an income problem. If it were, it would disappear at a certain salary level. It doesn't. So, what's the real cause? Because the answer determines the real fix, and the answer is not what you've been told. You know the cycle. You get paid. You pay rent, utilities, the car payment, the minimum on the cards. You buy groceries. Maybe you do something for yourself, dinner out, a purchase you've been putting off. And then somehow, before the next payday, you're checking your balance every few days and watching it get uncomfortably low. You might have convinced yourself that you just need to earn more, that once you get to a certain income level, this will stop. But you've probably also noticed that the paycheck-to-paycheck feeling has followed you through multiple income levels already. It was there when you made less, and some version of it is still there now. That's the thing about living paycheck to paycheck. It's not a spending level, it's a pattern. And it follows income growth because it's not caused by what you earn. It's caused by the gap between how your financial life is structured and how the modern economy is designed. So what's actually causing this? Let me give you the real answer, the one that actually explains why this happens to people at $35,000 and $110,000 equally. Here's the mechanism that creates and sustains paycheck-to-paycheck living. It's called lifestyle normalization combined with income index spending. When you get a raise, your reference point for normal shifts, the apartment that felt like a stretch at $45,000 feels affordable at $65,000, so you upgrade. The car you drive, the restaurants you go to, the vacations you take, they all normalize at each new income level. This isn't vanity or waste, it's a completely predictable human response to increased resources. Your brain updates its model of what's normal and budgets to the new normal. The problem is that savings and investment typically don't get the same automatic normalization. Most people don't increase their savings rate proportionally when their income increases. They save the same dollar amount or percentage they always saved, while all additional income gets absorbed into lifestyle. The result is that the ratio of savings to spending stays structurally low, regardless of how much you earn. A 2023 report from Bank of America found that among high earners households making over $100,000, the paycheck-to-paycheck rate was approximately 33%, 1 in 3. Not because these people are irresponsible, because lifestyle normalized to income while savings didn't. The second factor is that fixed costs, housing, cars, subscriptions, insurance, tend to lock in at each income level. They're easy to increase and very hard to decrease. So income growth continuously gets converted into fixed obligations, and the margin between what comes in and what must go out stays thin. None of this is a character flaw. It's a predictable behavioral pattern, and you can interrupt it with two specific structural changes. There are two moves that directly interrupt the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Not 8 things, not a complete financial overhaul. 2 things, made in a specific sequence. Move 1. Separate financial identity from income identity. This sounds abstract, so let me make it concrete. Every time your income increases, a raise, a bonus, a side income stream that becomes reliable before any lifestyle adjustment happens, route a defined percentage of the increase to savings and investment automatically. Not whatever's left, a defined percentage immediately on payday, before you adjust spending. The specific number I've seen work is 50% of any income increase. If you get a $500 per month raise, $250 goes into automated savings and investment, and $250 is available for lifestyle. This lets lifestyle improve, which matters and shouldn't be eliminated, while also ensuring savings grow proportionally. Most people do 0% of a raise to savings and 100% to spending. Even 25% of an increase redirected changes the long-term trajectory dramatically. Move 2. Increase fixed savings before lifestyle locks in. The most expensive moment in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle is the window between getting a raise and spending that raise on fixed costs, a new apartment, a car upgrade, a subscription tier jump. Fixed costs are almost impossible to reduce once locked in. Variable costs can be adjusted. The window between getting more money and committing it to new fixed obligations is when you have maximum flexibility. In that window, ideally before you sign any new lease, take on any new car payment, or add any new subscription, automate the increase to savings first, then make lifestyle decisions with what's left. Most people do this exactly backward. They decide what they want to spend on, sign the lease, buy the car, and then try to save whatever remains. What remains is almost always nothing. Here's what this looked like for someone real. My former coworker Tanya got a $9,000 annual raise. She'd been paycheck to paycheck for 6 years at her previous salary. Before doing anything else, before looking at apartments, before anything, she set up an automatic $350 more month savings transfer to a separate account, which accounted for roughly half of her monthly increase. Then she upgraded her apartment slightly. A year later, she had $4,200 in savings for the first time in her adult life and a monthly budget that wasn't chronically tight. Same basic income level. Different structure. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. I'm not expecting any income increases anytime soon. My income is what it is. What do I do if I can't wait for a raise to implement this? Fair point. Here's the answer. You do a fixed cost audit right now. List every recurring monthly obligation. For each one, ask whether it was chosen at a previous income level and whether it still fits. Cable packages, gym memberships, streaming services, car payment, storage units, phone plan, these all tend to lock in at income levels that may have been higher. Even reducing total fixed costs by $100 to $150 a month creates the same effect as routing part of a raise to savings. You're widening the gap between income and locked-in spending, which is the whole mechanism. It's harder than a raise because you're cutting rather than rerouting, and cuts feel like losses. But the financial effect is identical. Freeing $120 of fixed costs and redirecting it to automated savings is the same math as getting a $1,444 annual raise and routing half to savings. Remember what I said at the start. This is happening at every income level. That's the data. And it means income alone is not the solution. The solution is structure. Specifically, routing income increases to savings before lifestyle locks them in, and treating every fixed cost decision as a permanent commitment that deserves scrutiny before it's made. The paycheck-to-paycheck cycle isn't inevitable. It's a pattern. And patterns can be interrupted. The two moves I walked you through today are exactly how to do that. Not dramatically, not perfectly, but in a way that compounds over time into a financial life that doesn't require you to hold your breath until payday. If this helped, subscribe. I put out one of these every week, and they build on each other. And if you want to understand exactly how much savings the average person your age actually has and how you compare, I linked that video right here. Watch that one next.